What's going on, guys, and welcome back to our modded adventure. There is a lot that I need to sort of catch you up on what I've been doing in between the last episode and this episode. As you can probably tell, we have been upgrading a bunch of our buildings as well as putting down a whole bunch of pathways. Let's get out of that view. Oh my god, almost landed in the fire. And it's getting to night time. So regarding our mine colonies, everyone's about to head off back to bed. What a perfect time to start recording. Let me sleep for you. Thank you. So I've not built any new buildings. I believe we ended off with me starting to build the university. The university is now finished. So this thing is where we're doing research to unlock the other buildings. I do believe it is around this corner here. Have you got research underground? No, you haven't. So if we go technology, what do we need? We need a mine at level 3 to do that. We need a fisher hut, sawmill. Oh, so we've unlocked the sawmill. What other research can we do? Requires mines level 3. Requires farms at level 4. Composters hut level 3. Composters. Okay, so we have to upgrade some of our other buildings to do that stuff. This stuff is in order to get them to make stuff from other mods. So I think we may actually go into combat. Okay, so guard armor, 10% durability, so 32 level. Also, that's another thing that I forgot to mention, is we've upgraded our storage a little bit. So let's go on to combat and start that one. They can do 2 researches simultaneously. Taunt. And guards have a chance to score critical hits. So 16 iron we can do. Do that, get rid of them. Research, combat. And done. So where we've upgraded our mine, there's actually a guard post in the mine, which I then upgraded also. So if we go over to our mine, and I'll quickly show you where they are. Head on down here, and it's just here. So this is just where a little guard post is, and that's to fight any mobs that actually go down in the mine, because this guy is getting pretty low, and where he gets sort of low, he's going to be running into mobs a little bit more frequently. So having a guard there at hand to help him out if he needs it is always going to be handy. What else did we upgrade? We've upgraded the... Well, we're currently upgrading the town hall to level 2, I do believe. We upgraded the farm. We upgraded the shepherd's hut to level 2. We upgraded the forester to level 3. And we upgraded the mine to level 2, I do believe. But what is happening now that we're running into an issue with is that we've got a lot more jobs that need fulfilling than we have residencies for people to actually stay and live. So we're going to have to do something about that now. We want the residences, and we also want our placement stick. So here's our placement stick. Do we have any residences? Yes, we do. Okay. So do this. Let's go to fundamentals, residents, citizen. Check out level 5. So I do believe this is the same house that is this one over here. Do we want it next to the mine? And do we want it in the same orientation, all facing this direction? I think we need to sort of change that up. So if we spin this round, say, this way, and then bring it back, and then we just want to make sure that we've got enough room for another path. So, okay. So that is going to be way too close to that one. So let's go, that's 1 wide gap, then 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure it's not... Okay, so now it's too close to that one. So this one's going to have to be pushed back as well. So if we go 4, 3, 2. So then it's a 2-block gap in between the university and a 2-block gap in between our mine. See, this looks very cramped if I put it like that. I also don't really like it in that orientation. Just looks weird. We're going to have to find something smaller to put here, I think. I'm going to have to put the next house somewhere else. Where can we put a house? Where have we got room? Annoyingly, because where our town hall is, most of our usable space is over in that direction. But I really don't want them having to go back and forth over the water. Not now, anyway. I don't mind it later on, but right now, like at the moment, where's our border? Our border's up over here, so if we push you all the way back to our colony border, that is 1 over, 2 over. So this would be our border. Currently, once the house is built, then the border itself will be expanded. I think that looks alright, and from that orientation it's not too bad, and we can have like a smaller building here. So if we do that, that's going to be one house. Is there like a different type of house that we can do? Residence, switchback. Which one would look like it fits? Old English? Fundamentals. Other residence. How does this look? Like, it doesn't look terrible, and it sort of fits in with some of them, like the white and the dark oak. So yeah, that could work. Let's bring it down and spin it round. And this one's like a much smaller one as well, so it would actually fit pretty well in this little gap here. Does it have to be one up? Because we've got these weird little stair things. It's a cute little house though. Probably don't want it one up as the final build. So bring it over to here. Let's just see how it interacts with the mine after it's fully done. Okay, that's fine. I can actually bring this like all the way forward. There's enough of a gap here for me to do some decorations on this side. And then enough of a gap here for me to do a pathway going past and through the other residents. So yeah, that actually works. Let's do one of them. Also, let's get rid of you guys. So now we've got them two sort of ready to be built. I'm just going to let the builders crack on and do them in whatever order they want to, while he works on that thing over there. We have got our guard who's wandering around somewhere, and I've put her in this cog armor. So she's got a copper hat and a copper boots, but she's got cog leggings and a cog back, so she's got a weird little sort of cog thing that spins around on her back, which I think is pretty cool. Now, the issue that I was running in, we want to work on... Oh, okay, before I do that, I want to show you what I've done with the storage. So I built a tier 4 beacon directly underneath our storage, and I got the wireless terminal, and then I upgraded it with the netherite and the upgrade token that we got when we upgraded all of our netherite gear. And that basically, when the storage main component behind our crafting terminal is within an 8-block radius of a full tier beacon, it allows us to use our terminal in any dimension, so we can actually access our terminal from anywhere, which I think is extremely handy. Let's move all of this stuff. So that's how comes I'm actually able to access this wherever I'm going. I did not realise as well that the Scorch Gun mod adds these things, the supplies camp, and you could tame them using the scrap brass that you get when you kill them, and you can actually have them follow you around and act like a portable storage container, which I thought was pretty fun. I tamed one and I've just left him on the boat, to be honest with you, because he's like next to useless for what we're working on. No. Over here is what I actually want to work on today. One is I need to put a shell on this, because what is happening is at night time we're getting hostile mobs dropping in front of the crushing wheels on both sides, and when it's a skeleton or a zombie, rotten flesh gets stuck on the line because we've got no spaces for them. We've got it for bone meal, and I made it for white dye because I saw white dye come in and I didn't realise from where, but it's from where a skeleton had got crushed and then the bones from skeletons have got crushed. So we need to put a shell on this thing in order to stop that from happening. And then so I've actually designed a shell and I've put together all of the resources that I'm going to need for it. Wow, it's getting to night time already. I've been talking that freaking much. Come on, guy, let me sleep somewhere. Yeah, so what I'll do is just jump straight into a time-lapse of this thing getting built, because we're going to be using that cannon. I do need to grab some gunpowder, but yeah, I'll catch you after it is done. Da, 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 da. And it is now done. We've also got random wandering traders decided to show up. Whoa, 5 netherite ingots. Only 5 armor, but Warns free, so that does not seem like it would be good for me. I really need to see how you get these apothic coins. Okay, how about if we just search coin? Yeah, I have no idea how you get them. They're like a tab thing for apotheosis that will tell us. Okay. I have no idea. It doesn't actually show apothic coins, does it? I'm not seeing them anywhere. But this is another mod that we actually have to get into at some point as well, to get our gear like being really OP. Like advanced advancement, what's ancestry, find. Okay. So this is our building. It's pretty much like a standard sort of industrial build that I decided to go for. Like just factories sort of to blend in well for our little cobblestone sort of processing. Although these tanks are not showing up properly. Can you like fix that? Interesting. Maybe I need to like pick them all up and place them back down. But we've got them sort of just covering up this area inside of here, and you know what? There's no point building a shell to stop mob spawns and then having mobs being able to spawn inside. Do that. Let's just throw some torches down for now until I get some better industrial lighting on the go. We do also need to cover up this thing at the back here. So if we go... what do we want to cover it up with? Probably andesite casing. But do we have it? Yes, we do. That's awesome. I do love the sort of garage door that you can open and close. And then also need to do something to cover up this bottom section here where we're actually producing our cobblestone. But what I want to work on after we sleep the night away to keep our villagers constantly working. They're all tucked into bed, so it'll count as them having slept. Dude, you're going to have to go away. You're so loud. Ah, really? Okay, I don't think they did spawn. Freaking guys. So, what I was considering doing for this is having the frog ports. So these little dudes sort of package in and send in packages away. And I actually set up something in order to be able to make the packages as well. So if we head on over to our boat. And underneath in the hole where we've got all of our random processes happening. I did set up this bulk fermenter, and we are actually producing the pulp if we feed it a bunch of saplings. But I realised that I probably didn't want to do that system because when you start having packages running around on the chain conveyors, these like chains that go along that are actually transporting our rotational energy, it can end up getting a little bit laggy. So what I want to do for this section, in order to get our resources being smelted and then sent directly to our system, we want to get into the ender storage, this ender tanks. Go at ender. So ender tanks and the ender chests. So we have got leather and we've got blaze powder and we've got ender pearls all being crafted. Well, not crafted, but farmed. So we've got blaze powder here, which we can throw into our storage system. And then we've got ender pearls over on the other side. So if we come over here, one of our cages has a weird little warped enderman in. And then we've got a whole bunch of ender pearls in here. So something like that. And then we can... Oh, obsidian. Bulk washing, magma blocks, magma creams, slime balls. Ah, that is just... Okay, so we need a whole bunch of obsidian. Have we... I don't think we've got magma blocks either, have we? Okay, what I'm going to do is... I was going to say, go into the nether with a bucket of water. That doesn't work. Shut up. That is not going to work because you can't use buckets of water in there. So I'm going to go down into our mine with some water. Bucket of water. And then just vein mine a whole bunch of obsidian. Also, these things is something that I didn't realise that the Scorched Guns mod do. So underneath the ground here, I've actually picked up a bunch of geothermal vents from the ocean floor. And these, when you put wool in them, they collect the niter dust. And with niter dust, what we can do is use that for making gunpowder by using charcoal and sulfur. And sulfur you can actually farm as well, which is pretty cool. Not that way. By crushing basalt, we can get sulfur. So we can actually have a fully functional gunpowder factory. And then you can also get the... if we go at Scorched... I forgot the name of the nuggets. Is it like anthracite? Yeah. So we can actually get the nuggets from... What is it? Bulk washing soul soil. And we can get soul soil from the enrichment chamber by putting soul sand in. And we can get soul sand from the bulk haunting of sand to soul sand. So there is a way of fully automating like an ammunition factory, which is something that we will be doing further down the line once I've got the automated processes of the ores sort of in place. But yeah, let me go down and grab a whole bunch of obsidian, make a bunch of these ender chests, and I can show you exactly how we're going to be linking everything up. So back now, and we've got a whole bunch of obsidian. I did end up having to put a bunch of magnum torches down in a big cave system directly underneath our colony, because I was wondering why each time I was loading up the game was getting a little bit stuttery bit by bit, and I figured out that I had something like 400 plus zombies that had spawned underneath, all holding items so they wouldn't despawn. So to stop that from happening, I dispatched of all of them. So I got a whole bunch more different like random gems. Is it gems? These things? So I got a whole bunch more of them, a whole bunch more of different armors, chest plates and stuff. So I need to sort of purge my stockpile of these, but none of the ones that are sort of like named, because I can crush them to get certain dust things for that apotheosis mod. So that's just a little side note. We've got our obsidian, so we want to make our ender chest. So ender And ender chests, we need the ender pouches, which means we need the ender eyes. Ender pouches, we can make 26 of them, but I used up all of my leather accidentally. We do actually want the ender tanks, we want a couple of them. So say 1, 2, say 3 of them for now. Awesome. And then we're going to want a whole bunch of these guys. 1, 2. Oh, blaze rods. God damn it. Is there a way of getting blaze rods by using blaze dust? I guess we can make another cage, but we need another smart chute, which means we need more chutes. Okay, so that is not what I wanted to do. So if we do this, and then do, oh my god, we need the polished, I forgot the name of it already. Polished rose quartz, awesome. So rose quartz, grab you, and then sandpaper. Do we not have sandpaper? Fine. Paper. Let's make a couple of these. Quickly do some of these. So what I want to do is have it so the items in our sort of cobble factory that producing all the ores, I want the ores being auto smelted, and then I also want all of the diamonds, lapis and everything to be coming directly to our storage to save me having to go back and forth to that mini storage system over there. And in order to do that, we're going to be using the ender chest instead of using the frog ports, just because it will be a lot less laggy, or it would have a lot less opportunity to be laggy. Okay, that should be more than enough of them. We want some of you, and we're going to want one of you. Then we're going to want a DNA sampler, and we're going to want one of you. So we are now going to have to go into the Nether, fun and games. So we have to go try set up a blaze one of these guys just to get the blaze rods that we need. I do believe that we can. Here we go. Blaze rods. Cage mobs. So magma blocks, gilded blackstone. Gilded blackstone is like plus 15%. And you can just use a diamond DNA sampler, which is awesome. So if we go over to our Nether fortress, we've got a couple of blaze spawners over here. Give me some blazes. Come on. We will eventually be setting up some form of mob grinder, like a big mob farm, and have all of this stuff being automated in different ways other than the cage mobs. Because the cage mobs don't produce anything particularly quickly. Is that enough? Blaze. Okay, that's fine. 3, 4. And back here. Then 1 chest. Got some more gold chests here. And what is it? Gilded blackstone? Because we've got a bunch of this from the chest and bastion that we was doing. Do that. Put you onto here. Put you into there. And then do that. Okay, so that is now going to be producing our blaze rods. But we're going to have to sort of wait around for that to do its thing, unfortunately. Which is slightly annoying. How the hell did I just grab all of that stuff? I didn't even kill anything in the Nether. But what we can do is start setting up the smelting section. You know what? Where's the mega torch when you need one? I need one. I'm just going to put a mega torch over on this side. a torch there just in this corner for the time being. Don't go on the conveyors. This guy can split into two. Okay, just go. Stupid baby skeleton. Okay. Now that that is dealt with. We are going to want 2 more, is it pumps? They call pumps? Oh my god, what are they called? Oh, there's one here. Hose pulley. There you go, hose pulley. And can we craft them? Kelp blocks. And 2 of these. Because this can only pump so much at a certain time, and I don't know how much these are going to be using consistently, and I want a permanent source of lava, so we're going to be using the ender tanks, and we're going to want these to both be on red. Can we make red dye out of this? No. Have we got rose? Yes, we do. And we can paint these red. Oh, do we have? Yeah, we have to crouch to do this. So they can be lava, and then we're going to want you know what? These can probably be set up underneath. Yeah, they don't actually have to be up there. What we can do is put you. God damn it. We're gonna have to rotate them. Yep. Oh, of course. Where's our wrench? Do that. Do that. And then we're going to want to grab you. So let me do this and set these up so they're all the way. Oh, yeah, that would help if I actually had these broken. And have these 2 go all the way down. It's going to take a second. So both of these are now at the bottom end. I didn't pick up my tanks. Well, that was stupid. Let me grab you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grab both of these. No, not you. You. If we then... Oh my god, really? Can I use a wrench to turn these? No. Okay. There we go. Stupid freaking blocks. If we grab our fluid pipe, and then we can do that, do that. So that says considered infinite, and now this will be filled with lava, and it can hold 32,000 buckets. And so what we can do is have this upgraded so it fills it pretty much instantly. I'm going to do the same for here. And then what we can do is, as and when we need lava for different things, we can just use the ender tank, provided it's on the correct color code. So we're going to want another red dye. So you do that, and then this one will be holding our lava. Awesome. Now we've got an infinite source of lava to use wherever we want. We're going to be using the same sort of system, but for doing our smelting needs. So, oh my god, it's just one thing after another, isn't it, really? It's now raining. So if we grab you, and then we grab our belts. We don't really need belts, do we? No. We need shoots, but I would prefer to have the upgraded shoots. Because this one can only drop like 16 at a time. Yeah, let's grab shoots. Is that not how you spell shoot? Or is it CH? CH. So if we grab, say, 1, 2, 3, we want 4 of them, really. 4. I think that was our last one of them. Yeah, so we want that. We want 4 fans. Which I don't think we've got. Oh my god, okay. This only really needs to be a little setup, doesn't it? Ideally. We transfer, bring that over to here, and bring that over to here and bring it down, so that's fine. And I probably don't want this directly on the floor. Can we get like some sheet metal? Grab this. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bookend it with 2 different ones. Like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want, ideally we want all of these to be the same colour, but we need some more of them. So let's see how our blaze rods are coming along. If they've come along at all. We've got 9. That's fine. So do that. At ender. We need the bags. What colour do we want this? Have we got... Yes we do. We've got a bunch of black dye. The black dye can be our primary one. And by primary I mean it's our primary input into our main system. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to dye all of these black. Good. You can also craft these with a coloured wool, so that way they sort of default to the coloured wool that you use them with. That is one way of doing it. Trapdoors. Brass. We got any hazard stuff? Not that. There we go. We use some hazard slabs. How do we make hazard blocks? I don't want to do that. That's seriously how the only way of making them? Ugh. I really like some hazard slabs on either side. Can we? Okay, yeah, fine. Let me get these bits and pieces done, and then once I've got this sort of ready to go and some more blaze rods, then I'll bring you back, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of and ahhing, and I don't think you need that in your life. Like that. No, that's not what I want to do. I need to get yellow dye anyway. So yeah, catch you back in a sec. Alright, so I've got most of it in place. I do still need to obviously hook everything up, but what we can do now is get our ender chest in place. So and then we're going to want to sort of colour coordinate these. So we're going to want say the water one to be all blue, and then we're probably going to want light blue for the soul flame. What am I looking for? White. do that. Soul Flame. Probably going to want 2 of each one, really. So, let's get rid of you. Get rid of you. Do this. 3 of them. Then we're going to want, well, we can't have red, so say orange for lava. We've got some orange tulips. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then fire can be yellow. 6 of these. Let's go. Lava can be orange. Water is blue. This one. Soul fire, light blue. And yellow for our campfire. Then what we can do is grab some placards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put these on here. And I need to put something in them to indicate what they are. Is there any way putting lava into there? Okay, that works. We're going to want a water bucket as well. I'll also move the rotational energy using the chain conveyors over to this side as well. So water, and then we're going to want each of these things. So let's go campfire and soul campfire. Your soul, your are normal, just so it's more easily distinguishable. Then we need to set up our filters, so we are going to need another brass funnel over this side, which means we're going to need another one of these tube things. That, and then do this. Then this way we are going to have to set them up pretty much how we set up the other ones. Let's move all of this stuff into here, and stuff that we don't need on us can go away for the time being. We are going to want 2, 3, 4, all of these hooked up to the corresponding chests over there. Doesn't matter what order we put them in here, I just need to make sure that they're all labelled up. And I think there's an easier way of doing this. I think you could do it inside your pocket as well. So for this we are going to want to do our attribute filters. So one is allow, no, we want the deny list, and then we're going to want say stone, and can be smelted. So we go can be smelted, add, so it will deny anything that can be smelted, and smelted is this one here. Awesome. And then we're going to want to do the same thing for our other ones. So go stone, can be haunted, deny, add. That one goes there. Want to do the same for washing and smoking. So that, can this even be washed? No, it can't. So let's get rid of that. Then let's get, say, sand, because we know that sand can be washed. Frickin' hell, look, where's just sand? Give me sand, just sand, thank you. They can be washed, deny, add. So that one goes onto here. And then the other one is food, so it's going to be like can be smoked. Let's go raw, whatever. Like so, can be smoked, and deny, add. that should be all of our filters set up. So what we can do then is basically, if we say I'm going to want one more as our main return. I'm just going to show you it working over here first of all. 3. 1, 2, 3. So if we've got these 4 set up over on our boat, this is going to be linked to our main input on our storage system. And say that we want have we got any ore? So if we want, say, copper, we want it to be smelted, which means it's going to be the orange. So if we throw it into this one, it will then be dropped, hopefully. Oh, but we need to actually link up the fans. Let's quickly put this on. Such an idiot. Let's grab you. 2, 3, 4, say 5. And we're probably going to want some gearboxes. Do we have gearboxes? Probably do in case chain drives. Okay. Go create gearboxes. Can we make some of these? Not a lot. Can we make some of these? Not a lot. Why did it do that? We've got loads of wood. Oh my god. You just do your job. There we go. And then do that. A bunch of gearboxes. Can we make the in case chain drive? Awesome. If we then say link these guys all up to here, and then we're going to want a gearbox to go here, and then a vertical gearbox on this thing. That's not the way I want you to go. There we go. Are you not a vertical one? God damn it. Oh, it was vertical, but I think I just turned it around somehow. Okay. There we go. Like so. Is that going the right way? No, it's not. But that is easily fixed by just throwing in another gearbox. Does mean that all of these trapdoors need to be down. Okay, let's try this one again without our magnet on, otherwise it is going to pick everything up. So we want this smelted so it goes into our orange chest. Should then be dropped in front of there. And once it's smelted, it should then be picked up. How long does it take to smelt? I could have sworn it was quicker than that. Unless the trapdoors is blocking it. Oh no, it did smelt. But it's not being picked up for some reason. Have I set this wrong? Oh, no. It's because all of these are freaking... Yeah. Okay, so let's try that one again. Let's grab you. You go into this one. So once this melts, it should then be allowed to go in. Come on, guy. My plan is using these, so I'm going to have to separate all of the ores from the rest of the stuff. The rest of the stuff is just going to be sent to a black input, and then the ores can be sent to the orange one to then go through our auto smelting thing. So it has been smelted and it should be in here. Awesome. But we are going to need a bunch more of them, so let me sort of link that all up, because there's going to be a lot of finagling with our system in here, because I need to then separate this. So where this conveyor is coming off, I'm going to have one filter line for like stuff that can be smelted. Actually, no. I'm just going to set actual filters for the ores, and then have everything else being sent directly to our storage. I did also figure out a way of separating the sand better. So this will only send, I think it's like 16 or 32 at a time. And then the sand will come over here, and this is then force split. So then it will roll over onto this conveyor. So then we'll get 50% of the sand being sent to our system, and 50% of the sand being sifted. So that is all working fine. So yeah, let me get that linked up and get the auto smelt inside sort of set up, because I have to wait for some more blaze rods as well. Let me pick this guy up. And because I need some more of these ender chests to set up the actual system in there. But what we can actually do is I can show you what I'm going to do over on this end. Hop on over to here. Can I hop over? Thank you. So what we can do is break you. Well, that's going to be a tight squeeze. Let's break you and you for the time being. We're going to have our black ender chest like so, and then we're going to need a pipe item like so. And have we got our pipe wrench? We put that back away. Where are you, pipe wrench? Up here. Like so. And then that will be inputting directly to our storage drawers. I don't want anything coming in to be filling up these chests, which is how comes I'm feeding it directly to the storage controller and not our main storage, Tom Simple storage system. So otherwise, if we have stuff that isn't being bulk stored, it will just fill all of the chests really freaking quickly. But we're going to want to upgrade that pipe so that way it can actually input a lot quicker. So let's grab all of these guys like so. There we go. And you can go like so. We are going to have to find something to cover this thing up with. There is copycat panels, isn't there? Really like thin slices. Board. Okay, so we need zinc. So, board. Do that. And then, can we do that? Okay, that's fine. A lot better than I thought it was going to end up looking. But yeah, let me get that sorted. Once that's all in place, then I shall be right back. So I think I've got everything in order now. I've got the 2 ender chests on this side, and I've got the filters set up to actually pick up them 4 ores, but whether or not it does what I'm hoping it does is another question. So it's a case of us now breaking this thing, taking that out of there because it's not going to be picked up, and picking up this thing and seeing if this actually picks up. So we need to put a space for them as well as bone meal into our storage. Oh, blaze powder as well. But everything else seems to be getting picked up via this thing. All of the ores anyway. So let's quickly head on over to our storage. 3, 4. And where should we put the XP? XP can go Where do we want it? Go down there for now. And we want blaze powder. Can be here. Bone meal. Preferably I want it in one like the smaller ones, but for the time being, because we're getting quite a lot of it, it can go into here. What we can do is, for the time being, break this guy. And that way we can see if there's anything that's going to be blocking up. We are going to have to upgrade some of our storages though. So sand is going to be one that we definitely need to upgrade. So if we go upgrades, and we're going to want to make a bunch of these. And then gold. And then diamond. Awesome. So we're going to want gold being upgraded, iron being upgraded, redstone, diamonds, copper. Definitely that can have 2. Zinc is going to be another one. And brass, uranium, we're not getting auto sort of done. That one we're not getting auto done, but we are going to want these ones upgraded as well. Is that oh, the sand? That one's going to probably need 2. Gravel's probably going to need 2. Flint as well. So this one up here, probably going to need a couple. So, and I think it's getting blocked up. Clay. Okay. Clay can actually come over here. Let's put 1 upgrade on that because we're not going to get like an obscene amount. But with 2 diamond upgrades, we can store 1.2 million. And then I can start putting void upgrades on them as well. But what I'm going to have to do also is get the ones that are already over here being stored. So all of these, like the 54 and 69 and 51,000, 23,000 of these that are all over there are going to have to be put into the system to be auto done. We can actually have a look here and see if this is actually doing its job. Why are you... What is happening to the ores then? I don't know what ores coming off, isn't there? Oh, just... Oh, okay. Freaking thing. I don't know why it does that every now and again. So ores are now coming into there. And they are in fact all being dropped and smelted into here. Yeah, there we go. That is all working as intended. Happy days there. But now we have to... Oh my god. Inventory is bad. Bad inventory. You can go away. Then you can go away. And then for the time being, the other ender chest can just go into this bag. You can go into this bag. And then I am going to probably want to put our magnet on and to pick up all of these guys. So first of all I want... No, it's not what I wanted. We're going to need our axe. You, and you. And then for this, for the time being, we are going to want to grab some building blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to want a item pipes. We want to disconnect this. That's going to throw a bunch of stuff in there that I didn't want in there. Nevertheless, we can then start pulling all of these out. So these ones are then getting pulled out to be smelted and sent into our system. That will sort of start making its way through the backlog of that. Then we're going to want to grab the rest of these. Like so. That's going to be somewhere. Oh wow, I think that's just going to be destroyed. Oh no, it was just there. Oh my god. Inventory. That's... We do not want to be losing our diamonds and emeralds and whatnot. Okay. So that is now sort of dealing with the backlog of all of these items. We are going to want to take our magnet off. That's why we go over here. Can we say up to exactly 64? So it's dropping like a stack at a time. It'll wait for like a full stack to fill up and then it'll drop it. And because we're not getting that many variations of ores coming in here, it won't sort of slot cap it before it reaches a stack and then drops a full stack. That way, like this, should not be in there. You should be in here. Awesome. Nice. Now we have to go and do the same thing for our storage over on this side by transferring all of the other storage drawers to their counterparts in my main storage system. So all of the diamonds, coal. So once I've done that, it's going to be very tedious. There's going to be a bunch of different pipes dotted around here. I will bring you back once that's all done. So all of them have now been finally cleared, so we have got a massive stockpile of resources. So we've got like 60,000 gravel, 105,000 lapis, got 26,000 iron, 21,000 gold, and all of that is going to be gradually going up as it's smelting, so we will see items occasionally coming through here, which is all fine as long as they're not getting blocked up. And then we've got the ores being smelted gradually. But yeah, again with these, they have to stack up to 64 before they get dropped. But what we can now do, because we've got all 4 of these set up just directly outside of our storage area, say we wanted a stack of soul sand, we can grab a stack of sand, come over here, go to the soul flame, throw it in there, and then we should end up seeing a stack of soul sand come into the system, hopefully, provided it's working the way it's intended to. How long does it take to do the soul flame one? Where are you? Stuff is entering and leaving so quick. There we go. We just saw a stack of soul sand come in. So it is now working and we can easily craft stuff that way. So if we go to Say fan. Oh my god, I keep on doing that. Go create, and then fan. Right click. So with the Soul Flame we can do a whole bunch of different stuff. We can get Blackstone, Infested Deep Slate. We can get Soul Soil by putting dirt, grass, mangrove roots, mud, moss blocks. So a lot of stuff in Soul Flame does Soul Soil, which is good. Make soul torches by throwing normal torches. Lapis to prismarine and crystals. Haunted bell. Crying obsidian. Glowing sacks. Nether brick. So this is actually a way of doing a number of different bits and pieces. But I'm happy now that we've actually got this set up. Can we do that for a second? Stop my phone from going off. I've also done andesite alloy up here in the top right in our compacting drawer. We've got brass, and then we've got uranium, zinc, copper. Copper we're getting ridiculous amounts of. We've got we've got over 1,000 blocks of copper now. 2,500 blocks of diamond blocks. 293 red. We're not getting redstone nearly as much as I thought that we would be getting it. But we've got ridiculous amounts of lapis as well, so all happy days there. I did also just have a pop-up saying that the guard tower has been built, but I don't remember asking anyone to build a guard tower. Oh, unless there's a guard tower just built into the town hall. Is there? Lectern. Is there a guard tower in here? Got 2 chests. That's the way that we just came. And I can't see anything up there until he finishes building it. I was very confused by that. So what I'll end up doing is we're probably going to end up the episode here because we are over the hour mark, which I really want to try to get into the habit of doing like 20 to 30 minute episodes, but everything is just a very steep learning curve for me when I'm sort of doing all of this. Like, I'm having to figure stuff out as I go constantly, especially when it comes to the create and sort of logistics of everything. But what I will do in between this episode and next episode is I'll build a little shelter thing over that setup there, and then I'll start planning out the next episode. I would like to either get into the apotheosis for mob farming, to work our way through this sort of tree and get to the sort of later end game enchanting, which would mean hunting down some ocean monuments, hunting down a deep dark, and then possibly going to the end or working our way to go to the end, so more adventuring than anything else. Or we could go into another side, because I wouldn't mind exploring this roost to get the resource chickens, just to see what that's all about, because I've not played with them before. We've also got the Twilight Forest I mentioned that we haven't actually gone out and explored. But craft an eye of ender, and then we can go to the end dimension, but we need all of these different eyes in order to do so. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I want to work on next episode. I know for a fact I want to do a sort of gun and ammunition factory. So I'm probably going to taper this area off, sort of flatten out all of this up here. Not like flatten it down so it's all squared off like that, but I don't like this being like this, it just being like an exposed flat wall where it's clear that I've actually just dug it out and cleared it. So I may sort of make it look a little bit more of a natural transition sort of thing, and then sort of clear out another area, probably somewhere over there or further along the riverfront down that way, for an ammunition and sort of gun factory for producing all of the stuff for the ammo, and that way we can sort of move all of these vent collectors that are producing our night of dust to do that. But also in between the 2 episodes, what I will be doing is upgrading this house a bit more, getting that second house built and upgrading that a bit more. Probably upgrading our forester's hut as well as our shepherd's hut once more. And then doing a bunch more research.
Need
just
something?
Sort of like little grindy bits that I can do in the background that are less sort of active playing and more when I'm actually doing other bits and pieces on the computer. I can sort of have this running in the background. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the sort of progress we made. We've got all of our, well, we've got our shell on top of our resource producing factory, and now we've got all of the resources being auto processed and then fed directly into our storage system. I also don't know where I've got so many prismarine shards from. Something is producing it, but I have no idea what it is. Like what? I don't know if I went and gathered some. I've definitely not been grinding up any marlin things. I know that I threw a bunch of it because I needed the crystals. So that could have been from that. More than likely. But nevertheless, I hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.